Hi, Doug here, Ellis Car Customs. Thanks for coming back. If you're a returning viewer, if you're a new viewer, hopefully you'll check out my first two videos where I outline what I'm doing here and how I plan to go about it. So let me show you, if you watched the last video, what I was talking about having to do to straighten out the jams. I'll grab you off here. Now see, I used a come-along to hook it up, and I'll show you what we got going on here, because that brings the door jamb back into where it should be. It actually lines up pretty good on the top, and it's actually a fair gap there and pretty level with the top. That's all going to change when I convert it to a Nomad, because you'll have that B pillar coming down here and it'll be raising this up a little higher so that it follows the Nomad roof line. But the reason we had to do that was because there wasn't a lot of structure to the bottom, you know, no rocker panels, and you know, you can see there's nothing tying in. It was the same way on the other side, so that when the door is closed on this side, because I haven't put the come-along on it, you see how wide that gap is, because the front and back have to be drawn together like it did on that side. So what we're going to do, we'll do this side and then the other side, is we're going to fabricate some steel here in order to mount the floor to the quarter panel. Same with the wheel well, we'll have to patch that, and once we get that attached there, we'll fix the front and attach the toe panel here along this side, and that should hold it where it needs to be so that I can pull the come-along off, open the door, and install the rocker on that side, and that'll hold it where it needs to be. And then we'll do the same thing on the passenger side. So I'll bring you back when I fabricate some patch panels to stick in there and show you how that's going to work. So now I'm preparing to prep this rocker panel to install it. Here's a tool I highly recommend. This tool will give you a relief if you stamp it for like lap welding, and on this end it'll make holes for spot welding, which is a lot quicker than drilling those holes. Basically you can just go along the lip and punch your holes to spot weld it. But it'll make these holes, so all you have to do is spot weld these holes. You don't have to drill them out, and then it'll be just as if you pinch weld it with a spot welder. So what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll make all these holes, get this ready, prep the surface in there, and then I'll show you how we're going to scrunch the thing together to make it all work, make those door gaps look a lot better. I'll bring you back when I get closer. Alright, so now we've got the piece prepped and ready to go in. Got it all clamped together here. And you can see I made these holes fairly evenly spaced and prepped the surface behind it so we can spot weld it to the lip of the floor. And we did the same thing on the bottom here, where we evenly spaced the holes so that we can spot weld it to the inner rocker, which is part of the floor. And once we get that attached to the floor, then we'll have to rebuild this dog leg here to attach it. and we'll have to rebuild that leg somewhat to attach it at the front, and that should fix our door gap so that everything will line up the way it should, and then rinse and repeat on the other side. Same process. I'll bring you back after I get it welded in, and we'll see how it turned out. Okay, so now we got it all welded in here. I'll show you, we just basically spot welded all those holes that we punched, one into the other, locked it to the front, did the same thing on the bottom, just spot welded it to the inner rocker like that. Now I can demonstrate what I was talking about, the difference between a two-door hardtop and a Nomad, because I've mounted a Nomad door on this side. You can see they're basically the same at the front. You know, they fit up along the roof line. That's all similar. The difference is at the back. See, with the back there, push that in, see how much higher it rides than the hardtop door did. Basically, you know, the hardtop sloped down towards the dip, like I discussed earlier, versus the Nomad door is taller at the back. So you can see they kind of line up on the bottom along the rocker and at the bottom of the quarter panel, but about halfway up the quarter panel they start to gap themselves because there's more curvature to the quarter of the hardtop than there is on the Nomad. So basically I have to line that up to the bottom where it has to be, and then we need to graft on the Nomad roof and build out the quarter to meet the lower, and basically do that on both sides. But because the other thing is I had to chop this piece off. The inner door jambs on Nomad are different than they are on the two-door hardtop. Like, you have the door latch here that captures the door striker from the door when you close it, but on the Nomad they're up higher. This whole part here is different. Basically from about here down they're the same, but then from here up a Nomad is different. And luckily the roof, when it was chopped off years ago, they chopped off the top part of this along with the roof. So I'm going to have to graft that on to the other dog leg, because as far as I could see, I've done some research and I haven't found anyone who sells the inner door jamb for a Nomad. So we're going to have to work with what we got, and besides, if it was easy, everybody be doing it, right? So I'll probably mount the other Nomad door on the other side before I start doing any work, because I didn't realize until I had the hardtop door on here when I was doing what I was doing and trying to make sure when I put the rocker panel in that the hardtop door lined up and all that stuff, and the doors are so dissimilar at the top towards the back here that it would have been easier to have this door mounted when I did the rocker, and I wouldn't have thought I had to fight so hard to get the gap good here, because this gap doesn't matter, because that all has to be cut off. So like I said, I'll mount the Nomad door on the other side before I put that rocker in, and not worry about trying to get this gap up here right, because it's never going to be right with a Nomad door. But I'll bring you back when I do a little more work. Okay, so I thought I'd bring you back one more time and show you what we did over here. Basically, we did the same thing we did on the other side. We spot welded all these holes that we made there, top and bottom. Like I said, I mounted the other Nomad door, and you can see, even, you know, in order to close the door, you have to chop off the top of this, because like I said, the top of this jamb is different than a Nomad jamb. But we're in kind of the same boat as the other side. It rides above where the hardtop door rides, but you got a good fit here at the post and along the windshield there, and you know, you got a decent fit with the rocker panel. So basically, we'll have to do like we did on the other side and cinch it in there and there. I have to actually bring this bottom in just a little bit, but like I said, I'm not going to worry about the jamb here, because it curves in more than the Nomad jamb, and it leans in, and there's just so many differences that as long as we get the bottom along the rocker and up to about here fitting decent with the Nomad door, we'll be doing pretty good. So that'll probably do it for this video, and I'll update you soon when I get a little more work done. Till then, have a great day.